Hi, dear the Tamamina Quaba. What I shall not subscribe. You have more than answer by any summer. Send be house so no. The bar and pouty so be who near my or so who piano. On Sabeco so I came into the answers on subscribe. I will subscribe my. We are no share among us on Sakabi. If you're in Chimney and Caddy on Chimney. And JBA NNDC4 and the campaign team beto judges a G a year at just a G baby or for a bill beer. We were more as messy or more nice or beer than air can was him. And ne and a Kwesi Pratt and young way and then some made able to get our say. There are a lot of people in Ghana or John Juan Montiase, especially NPP for Nasha, Sanya say. Ɔsɛ publication ni by a amanfoɔ ka sɛ oh ɛyɛ Haruna ɛne Muntaka free ɛyɛ NDC because say Mahama amfa ɔmodian yɛ den amba campaign team no na ɛno na ɔka kyerɛ sɛ saa nneɛma no nyinaa nyansa bi anim kwakɔyɛ sɛ nkurɔfoɔ pɛ sɛ ɔmoyɛ a na ɔmode ɔtan ɛbɛto Mahama ɛne saa nkurɔfoɔ mmienu ntam Muntaka ne Haruna ntam. Na so waka kyerɛ say baby a Ghana aduru no ya tra ho. Do you know like unim nyansa paase Mahama ana nipa no flag bra unim nyansa se no unim position a opese ode omoto ana adwuma opese ode ye mamo wa blast omo ye pa nyansa mgeto. After that no e de ni be kyerem no ya hwese no si recommend e yokojeto ene niema hodo a ekoso krampa okojeto ye den amfanka ni expose the for the state capture just NPP for heading capture the state air resources normal farm.
But there's a lot of mischief in the air. And over the last month or two, I've observed, this mischief. And it's about people cooking up stories, faking letters and statements and putting it on the web.
Yeah.
With the intention of creating discontent and so on. I mean, I was a victim, about 6 weeks ago when a statement was attributed to me that I was complaining that NDC activists were after my blood and so on. And completely, absolutely fake. And then last week, there was this letter purportedly signed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama announcing his cabinet,
Yes.
and so on. And the mission was very clear. It was so very clear. The intention of that letter was clearly to sow seeds of discord, in the party and in the campaign. It was very clear. And then, of course, when the campaign team was announced, this whole thing about Haruna and Muntaka being left out, I mean, the mischievous intent was so very clear. A campaign team is formed on the basis, of some criteria and so on. And how Haruna and Muntaka popped up as having been left out is so very strange and so on. But yet it was put out there, and fortunately, its mischief was cured very quickly, and didn't seem to make any impact at all. But Sana, I'll be honest, as I always try to be, there's a problem with the campaign team announced. It's a huge problem. You see, you take the running mate of President John Dramani Mahama, and she brings many things to the table. But key amongst the things that she brings to the table is the gender question, the empowerment of women. It's key. Key amongst them is a role in education and so on. What in this campaign team reflects that? Nothing. Look at her campaign team. Why the women in her campaign team? at the women in Professor Nana Opoku Ajiman's campaign team. It's a male-dominated campaign team. It takes away some of the message. You understand? I've known my friend and brother Ejeni Boatin over a very long time. He has a very quiet disposition. He's a gentleman and so on. Is that all? So she has spokespersons, two. The male spokesperson and the deputy, who are all male. Doesn't make sense. Something is wrong. How are her strengths reflected in the campaign team that has been crafted for her? But that's their problem.
Interbusanfo Kwesi Pratt na babontia be yinsimo yina egu o kase enia ye pa se eye se bi John Dramani Mahama amfa eye Professor Gina no Poku Ajiman de anka akwa se campaign mu nyina no ema ewu musu ni nyina ye mema nko a nanka wonya ya nka o the Professor Gina na ene ne nkofo ye de ebishimbi nanka the woman factor no aye adwuma na Ghana phone sampa odo ban be de ebeye adwuma eye ne tenaway na so an hye den ho nti why very disappointed by the yeti ho asem that ne yafa ni nchim ne hwese de wasi akomandi eye kujuta black wa e de fa eye NPP achese omo funfun eye manager pade no se ne beto odwa se eye hotels ahodo no branch ampompo ne ne pese toma no wakase simple hotel keke muntimi manage enya so mfaso a Jubilee House na mbetima manage simple hotel muntimi manage ema profit ba Ghana nyina na mbetima manage wa kasa pan kam honi nkuti eye Kwesi Pratt.
I like to commend Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Honorable Likee Ðestr0ẏing, and the many other people who have joined this struggle to ensure that those we elect to manage state assets do not leave office with those assets in their pockets. Clearly, the issue at stake is not whether or not the state hotels are being properly sold or improperly sold. That's not the issue. It is not the issue. The issue is not whether or not they've been properly valued or undervalued or overvalued. That's a non-issue in this discussion. The principal issue is that people we elect into office to manage public assets should not leave office with those public assets in their back pocket. Finish. It is not complicated at all. It's a very simple issue. And this morning, to be quite honest with you, I've seen my brother Newz struggling all over the place and so on. The issue is so simple. It's not as complicated as you want to make it look. We have elected a government. Make sure, the mandate of every government is to make sure the state assets are so well managed that they are able to provide resources or multiply resources for the satisfaction of the needs of our people, for the realization of the aspirations of our people. Finish. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So, here are hotels owned by Snate. Under no circumstances should these hotels be transferred to public office holders. That's all. That's all. You understand? Now, the argument about whether this is being bought by Brian Champon or by Rock City Hotel and so on is so pedestrian. We don't even have to go there at all. Yes, it is true that in law, the company is not its owner and so on. But who are the beneficiary owners of the companies? That's the bottom line. You understand? It is clear that the disposal of public assets are decisions which ultimately will end up in cabinet. Okay? Especially in this particular case. So, whether or not there's a conflict of interest he knew or didn't know and so on is completely irrelevant. His position as a member of the cabinet should disqualify him from acquiring those assets. Finished. Nothing more or less. I hope it's very clear. Nothing more or less. Now, I'm worried about a certain development. And that development is simply about what others have described as state capture. It's not just about the state hotels. It's about many things. It's about how the vigilance of our people stopped the privatization of the Electricity Company of Ghana. That's one of the key issues in this discussion. This discussion is about how, in a twinkle of an eye, government bungalows, have ended up in the hands of elected officials. And for me, it's an eyesore. If you go to cantonments, what is happening there is an eyesore. Government bungalows being broken down, monstrous structures being built and so on. And if you ask questions, change of ownership has changed from the state to individuals who have entrusted with responsibility for managing the state. That's a problem. It's a huge problem. I mean, my brother, Mr. Apia Dankwa, linked it up to even the recruitment of persons into the security services and so on. Yes, it is linked. It is state capture, it is linked. I mean, one of the things which I found most horrifying happened last week. When we woke up one morning and were told that the National Investigations Bureau has conducted an opinion poll to help the New Patriotic Party decide on who should be the running mate. I mean, I was so shocked. You understand? And I asked very simple questions. Has this survey been done for the NDC? Has the National Investigations Bureau found it necessary to help the NDC decide who the best running mate should be? Has it done the same for the Convention People's Party? Has it done the same for the People's National Convention and so on? And mind you, these surveys cost resources. Those resources belong to the state. So when those resources are expended for a political party and so on, it does raise many ethical questions and so on. Okay? So that ought to be our worry. Yes, there's been a massive demonstration. Many people attended that demonstration. That demonstration is an expression of the outrage of the public. And I noticed that the people who participated in that demonstration came from the Ghana Federation of Labour, they came from the TUC, they came from other organized labor sources and so on. Okay? But is that the remedy? That is not the remedy. That is a way of drawing attention to the problem. That eventually the remedy is to put in place measures which stops elected public officials from grabbing state assets. And that is why I'm happy that there is talk of some legislation coming up to stop political office holders from taking over these assets. You understand? Now, again, the issue of privatization of state and public enterprises comes up again. Look, we know of what the Akroma government did, the import substitution program and so on. We know of the numerous factories which were built. At a certain stage, Ghana was producing television sets, radio sets, refrigerators, deep freezers, what have you? Matches, cutlasses, and so on. Today, as a result of reckless privatization of public assets, all of these factories and so on have collapsed.
Ebusia for ye tie nsem ya eye Kwesi Pratt na Bible ntia be chichi nsem ya me hu se be bia enkofo edi o man ne kon ehu ye publication false publication bi ho na epie itim ka se eye Mahama appointing the cabinet ministers mun be bia free ni asensa Mahama signature bi bia also correct na mu da be briga ne so nyansa bi anim and or the campaign team aba more ka se eye Haruna ne Muntaka nim tino ya left them behind. Mahama form on yefie. No kasa sa anima ni nyina nyansa pai fre nyansa binim. Do you know the strength of those people? And na uni nyansa sin omo flag bearer jemo di anim no. Nti omo ya de ye kom na so baby were very disappointed they say. Akwa kwese mema nkwa na dominating in the campaign team. Anka wa expect say the woman factor no enka opesenka Professor Gina no Pukwajima ki hunu wom Professor Gina no Pukwajima ne nkrofo ki hu omususu tim won chen nanka the woman factor eno so ayede aye adwuma amye ho se oba abemu a ampampa obiti Professor Gina no Pukwajima ampa obiti na boma ye adwuma nanka aye adwuma ho no wakase ko expectation ko ye den kwade ono ne nkrofo ye den bi rewrem na aye den the woman factor na aye adwuma amye ho se ampa obiti na achisi nye de yeti sasem so that we recommend kudita black one and crop be branches almost street a campaign a demonstration it's here and conform from my Japade special air branch champion and to say on na beto just the state air hotels and so no person ton or top no manage and what can say NPP for air can say hotel keke o muntini manage make profit. Ghana no beat manager make profit. Hotel simple hotel. Muntini manager. Jubilee House no meet manage. Hotel keke muntini manage. Our blast me any other factors where don't kaka. It's in semi break or comment section drop a comment be who I can only as be who I can. Unsubscribe ya but more than subscribe. We are not like and share. I'm on your side. I can be a hand and subscribe 100% Akroma.